Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome to Adrenaline Racing League. My name is Webbo. I'll be your commentator for tonight, and welcome to round 4 in the inaugural ARL Championship. A couple of things to talk to you through. A little bit disappointing driver attendance right now, but we're hoping for a good race nonetheless. We ended up missing last week from the broadcast due to my availability, but I'm here tonight. Just to let you know then, in terms of last week, what you missed was the newly renamed driver Adrenaline, owner of the league, won the race, the Portuguese Grand Prix from Astube, Wangfi, Rents, Branch and Amaral, your top 6. And that meant that in the drivers' standings, Adrenaline has the lead with 47 points. On 40.5 points is Wangfi, and third is Branch, currently on 35. And in terms of the constructors, that means that, unfortunately, the constructor standings haven't been done for me, so I can't take you through those just yet. It's very early in the season, so my apologies for drawing attention to that one. Where is so I've got one of the drivers who should be here, Lightning, just texting me on the chat. Hey Lightning, I think you've got time to join if you've got time to watch, perhaps. But do let me know. Branch looks to be the first driver out on the Silverstone circuit. He's closely followed by a Ferrari, his preferred car, so hopefully he'll get round and back round to start the lap in front of the rest of the field. Ricey Wangfi is watching as well. Welcome to you both, and welcome to anybody else joining us. A reminder that my name is Webbo. You can find me on Twitter at WebboRed5 if you like the commentary tonight. And make sure you subscribe to the ARL channel here. Branch just heading down the old start-finish straight, still yet to be properly named, and through Cops and into Maggots and Beckett's for the first time, just warming up the tyres. Change of helmet for Branch, haven't seen him in this one before, but be looking out for drivers like Sparks, for instance, who's been having an amazing run of form recently, for obviously Adrenaline, or ARL as is written on the P3 right now, ARL 33. We're going to refer to as Adrenaline by request. Welcome to old friend of the channel, FedEx or RO8 Racing. Great to have you here. I see you've been subscribing to the channel, so you've got the notification. And Branch heads on into Abbey for the first time. Got the car underneath him quite well there. I haven't had a weather forecast from our drivers. I'm hoping one of our drivers could let me know the weather forecast for tonight and how their sessions go. Would be very useful indeed, especially as I'm commentating on my own. Branch getting through the first few corners nicely into Brooklands now, leaving the apex a little bit wide, but hugging Woodcut. Looks to have the foot planted through Luffield here. Other way around, excuse me, Luffield. And now a tiny lift, it sounded like, into Cops. The track very green at the moment. And now into Maggots and Beckett's. 8th gear all the way in until the end of Beckett's 2. Now it's Chapel. Looked a little bit suboptimal perhaps at the end of that sequence, so hopefully he'll be able to correct that for next time. Late braking down to 6th, misses the apex into Stowe, which may have caused him to just hesitate on the throttle slightly, compromising his top speed down the run to Violent Club, and it's across the line on a 127.8. We've got Sparks out there. He is on a lap right now. Wangfi's just beaten Branch. Rents 4 tenths back, and Adrenaline quite a way back from there on medium tyres. Rents on medium tyres as well, as Ash Tube goes on pole, and Sparks loses it completely through Cops, so there won't be a time set there. So let's watch with Soldier Stone. Let's see, Flying Crow is watching as well. Nice to have you watching along, Ivan. And Soldier Stone on mediums. First lap through a calm, safe banker, just taking it easy, I think. What's Mixus up to? Mixus a 28.2 on soft tyres in Haas. So, pretty good time to begin the session with. As I say, apologies for our turnout tonight. Wasn't what we were expecting, but HBS has gone and disappeared from the session. I didn't catch if he had an accident or he failed to make it in, but it looks like our driver just finishing off their initial laps here, and they'll head into the pits and come on out for another one shortly. Perhaps Sparks has actually retired from the session. I was just going to go and find his car, and he's gone, unfortunately. So Sparks, on the way out of, I think, Farm, lost the car. I'm just hoping to see him there, but unfortunately I think it was actually the way into Farm. So drama for Sparks, unable to keep the car on the track. However, a small field will mean that he won't need to worry too much about his starting position, starting as he will down in P11 potentially. But we ride with Adrenaline, league owner in the white Red Bull for the month. Big lift, downshift through Cops, just keeping the car settled using the gears, and given that it's medium tyres, to be expected. All the way down to 4th through the second part of Beckett's, out through Chapel, and we are half a second faster than he's been before. Another driver just leaving the apex, begging slightly through the Cops corner. And across the line, second faster than he's been before. The fastest medium runner at 27.980, and if he starts 4th on mediums, I'm sure he'll be very happy indeed. Ash, no improvement right now. Rents, I think, just starting this lap. So bright sunshine in Silverstone right now for us. I say Lightning would like to be involved in the commentary because he may not make the race, so I might be able to sort that out and try and talk to him shortly. Ren's lap looking good so far, through Cops comfortably. The track really gripping in now. Medium tyres not a problem going through Cops at full speed. Looks like he's got good downforce setup. Away we go down the hangar straight now, so named as it's an ex-World War II airfield, and there was a hangar on the end of that section of runway, and down into Vale now, using that inside sausage curb through Club. Looking planted at the moment, and it's a provisional pole for Rents on a 27.657 on medium tyres, and looking very good indeed for his race start this evening. Mixus, I think, is just touring at the moment on an out lap potentially, or charge lap. Let's join the Flying Croat through Cops. Again, big lift and a downshift. I think this is an outlap. So we'll have a look at Amiral. We haven't watched one of the AlphaTauris tonight, so let's ride with Amiral, see how this lap is looking for him. He'll get a timing just after the bridge on the braking zone to Brooklands. 27.5 is purple for him, of course, not purple overall because he hasn't set a time just yet. Glorious corner to watch the cars heading through. Looking good again for him here, 103. So looking on target to set banker lap for himself. Got some outlaps going on right now, so we'll join those cars very soon. In fact, it's Ash Tube just starting. Oh, I think that was lag rather than a mistake through the final two corners. And Amiral, a provisional pole, a 127.4, lowering the bar for the rest of the drivers as Ash Tube makes a start on his lap. Again on medium tyres, fairly committed to this medium run. So a shade under his time. He needs to gain significantly more through the next two sectors to challenge for the pole position lap. Again, another downshift through there. All depends on your setup and the track conditions, but track nearing optimal now in the session, so presumably going for a little bit of extra top speed rather than downforce on the car. Tube into the final corner, sorry, the final fast corner of Stowe. Now down into Violent Club. Will this be good enough for the front row? He's been deposed by Senna and Rennes so far. He jumps up to the front row. Yes, indeed he does. A P2 on medium tyres, and Ash looking electric tonight. So Senna's just set his time, I believe. Well, let's see what Wang Fei is up to. He's just started his lap. He's gone through the first sector, slightly faster than he's been before. Amiral, though, with a very impressive pole position lap so far. Soft tyres for Wang Fei. So how does the Ferrari feel today through Maggots and Beckett's? It's looking good, actually. Looking pretty planted. Away we go. Crossing that timing beam. Quarter of a second up, which would be very handy. And he's on target for a provisional pole. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen a flyer from Wang Fei, but adrenaline in with a 27.3. Just resetting that fastest time. So Wang Fei away towards the line now. What's it going to be? A 27.4 up to P2. Wow, the time's really condensing significantly here. I would love to know what Sparks would have done without the spin, I think it was. Yeah, he says, confirms managed to spin the car. Soldier Stone's lap not looking amazing just yet. Let's wait for the next sector to see where he is going. Ash Tube still the highest medium runner. So Soldier Stone, yeah, very slow this one. So it might do us better to watch the Flying Croat. A little bit of oversteer, and yeah, he's dropped the time, bailed this one. Hey to Senna, who says hi. Senna, you were supposed to be racing. what are you up to at the moment? P5, looking good, but Might want to start a little bit further away from our teammate potentially. Senna tells me we're due for a dry race, so an unusual dry race in Great Britain. Have we got anybody on a lap, or are we just winding up? I think Mixus heading for the line, the old finish line in fact. So we're going into Copse now. That's gonna, wow, I was gonna say invalidate, but he held on to the lap by blending out of the throttle. Gonna need to gain some time now. Currently P9. Senna says he's not going to do another run. So there you go. Mixus with a purple middle sector despite going wide through the exit of Copse. Make sure if you're watching along you've liked the video today, please guys. It really helps with getting our league shared and out there. Mixus for the line then, a slight improvement but not good enough to drop any lower than a P9 starting position, so not ideal at the moment, but P9 still plenty of opportunities to make the race. Qualifying is not even half the job. It's particularly with races that have high attrition rates, we will struggle to manage to run the race without a safety car, I think. I don't know actually. One thing to ask the drivers who are watching, have we changed the safety car prevalence setting? Has it gone down to reduced, or did anything change through last week's race? Because that was certainly a suggestion we were making in race 2 of the championship. Azerbaijan. Hopefully it's a track that doesn't lend itself to quite so many safety cars, this one. And having set an earlier pole position at the time and currently sitting P3, Amiral is going to have his final run now. I say final run, if he gets it wrong in the next couple of corners he might better go through again, but he'll be rushing around a little bit. Amiral out there without traffic currently, so looking good. So Branch has just started his lap behind, so I'll perhaps try and flick between the two. Amiral just over his first time. What about Branch? You can see the short shifting. And down towards the line then. Timing beam says he's just under by about the same amount that Amiral was over. So Amiral on through Maggots and Beckett's next. Look like a slightly unwanted downshift, but a quarter of a second faster is Amiral through this sector. Let's see him through Stowe. So through Stowe indeed. Oh, just invalidates unfortunately. Amiral might get round to try again, but the best of the tyres has gone. 1.5 tenths faster for Branch. That could sit him anywhere from where he is to P4 potentially, if he can just extend that slightly. Down into the final 2 corners now for Branch. Will we see an improvement? Cuts the beam at a P3, good enough time, just right up there at 27.4 with a good gain in the final sector, left enough on the tyres to have another go. I think Amiral is trying another one, and we'll watch with him. Rents goes fastest on a 27.0. That's a lot better actually. That's pretty huge from Rents. We've got Wong Fei just behind the track, just behind Adrenaline here, and I think is that Amiral just ahead. So let's see Amiral cross his next sector. Did he maintain his gap? Amiral, he did. He's now a quarter of a second faster than he's been before. What about Adrenaline? He's slightly slower. Wong Fei Oh, I just missed the sector time, sadly. So let's see what Amaryl's got. A quarter of a second faster than he's been before. That's significant. Fastest time from Ash, a 27.065. That'll take some beating. P3 for Amaryl, beautifully done across the line. Adrenaline, a 27.314. And it looks like at the very end of the session, Ash and... Was that Ash and Ren's on the same time, I'm hearing? Or is that just significant? It is indeed the very same time between Ash and Ren's. Ash, having set it slightly earlier, therefore gets the pole position, a 127.065, and Rents there, the other Dutch driver, leading the way, followed by Amiral in third. Wong Fei is in fourth place in the Ferrari, Adrenaline in fifth, Branch in sixth, Senna in seventh. We've got Soldier Stone, Mixus, and Flying Kraut making up the top 10 qualifiers. Flying Kraut stayed on mediums, I think, through the whole session, and then Sparks and HBS are your back markers for tonight, and I don't expect Sparks to stay there. Bear with me on the stream while I just invite Lightning to join us. We're back. Hopefully Lightning will get that invite and we'll be back with us. And he will speak up. In fact, I should probably just invite him. Lightning, are you with us? I can't hear anything. Here he goes.
Hello,
Here he comes. Hey, Lightning. Are you in the race as well? You can see.
I am in the lobby, but I'm not in the race.
Okay. Well, we're just doing the formation lap right now. So hopefully you'll be back with us shortly. So starting strangely, having officially set the fastest time, an identical fastest time, second apparently in the game. The mechanics work so that the game mechanics work such that if you set the same time second, you get the first position on. You get ahead on the grid, which is kind of weird,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. Yeah, kind of strange, but there you go, that's the thing. So Red Bull first and fifth tonight, McLaren second and seventh. There's one AlphaTauri, one Ferrari. Haas is starting sixth and ninth with Branch and Mixus. The Alfa Romeos 8th and 10th, and then single entries from Alpine with Sparks and Mercedes with HBS, all on medium tyres, the back three. So that's going to make it interesting. Looks like, Lightning, we've got a rare thing. We've got a dry British Grand Prix.
Wow, that's good stuff. We get to see some pit stops, maybe.
Yes. Ashtube over to the line very quickly. Just waiting for the rest of the drivers to catch up. So Hyper with a a justifiable complaint that he didn't get the fastest the pole position, grid position there. But we're about to head out. The lights are on. A long hold. It's lights out. It's away we go for Adrenaline's round 4, and Adrenaline and Ash Tube leads away from pole position. McLaren behind, safely through. The Ferrari of Wang Fei making a dive bomb into Farm, but the McLaren trying to live with later braking faster, left the apex, and Wang Fei boxed out of that one. A slight spin, it looks like, from Flying Croat down there in now P12 on the way out of Farm. Again, another spin, it looks like, in the background, Lightning, that I can see.
I've noticed that Sparks has had a fantastic start. Similar to the sprint race or the real life Grand Prix for Alonso. It's very good.
Yeah, up to P7 for Sparks so far. The McLaren and Ferrari at the front here of Rens and Wang Fei just swapping places, but Rens managing to take the faster outside line through Luffield and resisting the overtake attempt. They go through Maggots and Beckett's, and
Sparks for a double overtake, possibly.
Nice stuff.
On side by side with Carrera. He hits Soldier, but he doesn't get damage. He has to go a bit wide. Still side by side. Around the outside goes Carrera, but Sparks still holds it.
Sparks lagging a bit on my screen, so that Adrenaline's going to need to be pretty wary of him here. But Sparks holds on, P6 now, so a lot of places up from the penultimate position on the track. Into the
half
first lap.
Spin for Adrenaline, huge mistake, and he's lost a position to Senna.
It's not looking good at the moment for our league owner, who was qualifying strongly earlier on. Up at the front, Wang Fei half a second back from Rents. He's got Branch half a second back from him. So we've got the cars all together still. No one significant gap developed just yet. And through Copse they go again. A lot of drivers taking it fairly wide through Copse, favouring perhaps greater speed in and a lift off to avoid a warning that will happen out there if you go through it at full speed.
You can go full speed, and if you go wide enough, and it won't give you a warning. And with these heavy cars with cold medium tyres for some, that's the only option that you have if you want to go flat, is to exceed track limits by a lot.
Okay.
It's a cheeky tactic, but everyone does it, so I suppose it's fair.
Yeah, I guess you learn you learn how to exploit the rules to your advantage. It's always been the way in Formula One. Soldier Stone got very close to the back of Branch through the last sector of the circuit, but dropping back a little bit as the first of the fast flat-out right-left sections hit. So I wonder if he's running a little bit of extra top speed and a bit less downforce. We've got a DRS train begun. Sparks just making shapes behind Soldier Stone, going around the inside of Brooklands to the outside of Woodcut, and round the outside again. Sparks, beautiful overtake, set that one up on the way into Brooklands and got it done 2 corners later.
On those medium tyres as well versus these softs, at the moment the softs have a very good advantage, so Sparks working with lesser machinery technically.
Indeed, yeah, I was expecting him to move forward. This is a little bit above expectations at this point, but such is Sparks' outright pace at the moment. He walked the early race, the first race of the championship, and then since I think had an issue in Azerbaijan, or was it Azerbaijan he dominated? I forget now.
I think he had an issue in Azerbaijan and then an incident in Portugal, so 2 unlucky moments.
Sparks, the only car really moving forward right now, but he's
on
got the
pace
fastest
here.
lap again. Yeah. In
Going to
terms
see a
of,
good
go ahead.
battle brewing between the top 5 really, all very close together.
Yeah, I hope we do get a battle and it's not a neutralised DRS train-ish situation. But Sparks up 6 places. Amaru Wafik having the opposite fate so far through this race, but maybe he will be able to patiently allow the race to come to him. Maybe his race pace is better, but at the moment looking like his race pace on heavy fuel loads not as good as his qualifying positioning. Looks like Wong Feet getting very close to the back of Rents on the way into Maggots and Beckett's. That will probably extend out again because of the dirty air effect through there. Yeah, loses a 10th, but now it's a long straight down the hanger straight, goes to the outside. Wow, Rents with a side swipe kind of maneuver, and Wong Fei kind of,
oh no,
oh yeah, we've got some action going on there. That was Branch hit Wong Fei, who was going wrong. They both bailed to the pits after that issue. There's debris on the track. I wonder if Wong Fei suffered damage. It didn't look like it, but he may have done, trying to go around the outside of Rents after Rents was fairly aggressive in defence down the hanger straight. How do you see that one, Lightning?
The damage model on this game is atrocious, and the physics of it make any small contact at high speed send one person flying, and then there's a T-bone collision. Nothing Branch could do, just caught in the middle of it. Not his fault at all. And
Branch and Wong Fei go onto hard tyres. So does Mixus on the same lap. Mixus must have suffered some sort of issue on running over debris at the same time, but obviously Branch, innocent party, but clattered into him.
Side by side.
Wow.
Sparks and Hyper.
Yeah, so
very
Sparks,
wide from Sparks.
Super wide, yeah. Will that be a warning?
That probably won't be a warning.
Okay, interesting, because he went so wide. But no,
he
there he gets one.
Penalty.
Yeah, just over-egging it. Just a little bit impatient from Sparks as usual. I do think this is a bit of a pattern forming for Sparks. Very keen to get to the front of the field, but
from 11th to 2nd in 5 laps, everything going perfectly. 100% ERS still.
Crazy.
That's and he's on the medium tyres, so he's got the alternate strategy advantage.
Yeah.
We should do this every race. Sparks has to start last. That's the rule.
Yeah, I think he should just take his time though to get past everyone, so make sure that we can catch all of his overtakes.
Yeah.
Rents obviously had an issue. Is that Soldier Stone having a problem as well?
I think he had to slow down.
Right.
For spin, but Senna just losing the rear end through turn 1 and 2. Very easy to do.
Yeah, and he's still struggling to recover it. Still struggling around.
He may have rear wing damage as well as overheated tyres.
He's certainly struggling to get the car out of the corner as he gets passed by Flying Croat, who's on a bit of a recovery after the first lap. Nothing wrong with his top speed, but yeah, spinning into Brooklands. I don't know if this is just overheated tyres or a loss of downforce for Senna. It's difficult to call when you're in the car. Obviously, you'll get a notification about how damaged the car is on your MFD, but in terms of feel, the difference between overheated tyres and a missing part of the rear wing doesn't feel very different.
Yeah, it's very difficult to drive with both those things happening at the same time.
Absolutely. Sparks now 6/10 back from the lead. He and Ashtube getting away from Rents and the rest of the field. Gaps opening up elsewhere. Soldier Stone is within a second, but only just. What have you seen?
Sorry, but Sparks was so close to doing a carbon copy of what Senna did. He had a slight bit of oversteer and he really nearly lost it. It was so fine.
Yeah.
In the slipstream, got more ERS. Thinks about a move.
He's used this inside line previously to take the outside through Woodcut but Ash's speed sufficient so far to resist. You feel it's a matter of time with the pace that Sparks has got, and as these soft tyres start to die off, life is going to get very difficult for Ash here to hold back Sparks' pace. Gap just opening out to 6/10 now. Sparks will get DRS down this straight. You can see the speed coming down quickly. Ash weaving to the inside just to break any possible toe, and again managing to resist. And but with these decaying tyres, Lightning, when do you expect the cliff to start looming near for Ash?
Now for Carrera,
Okay.
as he is pitting hopefully onto the mediums, because the hard tyres aren't very good. But Ash right now definitely has a disadvantage. These tyres are going to be around 45-50%, and they're not going to be feeling very good, whereas Sparks have just come into their prime.
Yeah, and you can see it. You can see it in the body language of the cars. You can see the better line that Sparks is able to take. He's not running quite so wide. Will this be the time for the move? Shapes to the outside into Brooklands. It's actually a dummy switchback move, as we've seen him make this move around the outside work before. Does he try another switchback? He'll get great drive out of Luffield. You can see the car being sucked towards the Red Bull, and they'll head on into Copse. Big lift necessary for Sparks as he almost rams the back of Ash at the apex point, but no way through just yet. Waits has joined us in the chat, Lightning, so good to have an old friend. As on my screen, Sparks lagged right across the track.
Same for me. That was a heart and mouth moment.
Yeah. Round the outside then. Shades of Mansell 88 for Sparks. Makes the move work with that additional grip. He can lean on the outside of the car through there and takes the lead on lap 8. And it's Sparks from Ash, Rents and Amarillo, followed by Soldier Stone, HBS, Flying Croat and Senna. And then the cars that have pitted for one reason or another. Adrenaline in 9th, Branch, Wongfeet and Mixus make up your field. Thankfully, it's lap 8 and we've still lap 9 now, and we've still got all of our starting drivers. However, Mixus looks to be a potential victim of being lapped already, Lightning, which is concerning.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think there were extenuating circumstances behind that.
Yes.
Ash not ready to give this up. He's still using the DRS and wants to stay with Sparks or launch a counter attack potentially.
The problem is that Ash has 20% ERS and Sparks has 85.
Yeah. Ash will not have enjoyed being passed around the outside, but perhaps right now this isn't the time where his car is in a great state to launch a fight.
Oh, he's cutting these corners. I think he's just gotten 2 warnings at once. He's pushing the car way too much. He's going to lose it at this point with the tyre wear. Sparks has a slipstream as well.
That's right. Waitsy says that Ash is going to be losing a lot of time. I think while he's got the DRS, he may be able to make up for that, but it's the impact of these penalties and warnings he's picking up over driving the car that it is going to be the biggest problem for him. Rents pits from 3rd position, so does Soldier Stone from 4th. So we'll see at almost an 8-second gap for Rents to Ash Tube. How much will that drop with a potential undercut?
The undercut around here is quite powerful, but only really primarily on the alternate strategy. So, for example, if you pit onto the softs, then you're going to have a huge advantage.
Right.
But the mediums, despite tyre wear increasing, the difference of pace isn't that big. But I'll probably be proven wrong.
Ash is still staying within that. Senna went into the pits and retired voluntarily, looks like. And he doesn't get to race with us very often. He's racing as a reserve tonight, so that's a big shame. I wonder if he had irreparable damage potentially and didn't fancy a long run to the tail of the field. just said, okay, he retired. He hasn't said why, but hopefully he will. He's watching along. Red rear wing damage. Yeah, I suppose that's probably justifiable. You don't really want to be running around like that. Ashtube, the only soft starting driver, holding out to the pits, and on lap 9, end of lap 9, as lap 10 begins, he's into the pits. So we'll see if the gap to was it Rents has reduced from about 8 seconds as he takes his pit stop. But Sparks well out there in the lead now. He's got a 23-second, make that a heck of a lot more actually, gap to the next driver who's on the same strategy, HBS and Crower, who didn't make anywhere near as much progress up the field as Sparks has managed. HBS now up to P2 as Flying Crower gets past Ashtube as well. 25 seconds is Sparks' gap to the next driver on the same strategy as him.
That is a very big gap. Looking at the incident, Ash has 1 warning, and Sparks has no more warnings after his penalty. So
okay, excellent stuff. Definitely the advantage of having a co-commentator around for things like that. Adrenaline weaving around behind Rents, and take a look at that undercut. 4 seconds Ash lost to Rents through that single lap under racing conditions with an earlier pit stop. 4 seconds is very significant. It's a long, slow, weaving pit lane, but even so, that's a bit of a surprise. Is that more to do with, or as much to do with Ash's poor condition, soft tyres?
After about lap 8, the tyres are going to, especially the softs specifically, they're going to lose quite a lot of time to fresh mediums. But 4 laps will give Ash the advantage for the end.
Whoa! Okay, we've just seen Adrenaline take the outside of Rents, who didn't want to give up the place. Contact was made. The camera was on the left-hand side of Adrenaline's car. He'll certainly feel like he wasn't given racing room if contact was made. Rents has managed to recover the car, but Adrenaline is out, and that's pretty shocking for him. He was heading his way up the field. We've seen a Red Bull make a successful move around the outside there already tonight, and I've only seen the camera angle from the left side of Adrenaline's engine cover, so I couldn't see if the contact was avoidable, but he plummets down and will of course not get a classified finish out of this one, and isn't going to be happy about it. Senna is not happy with his luck tonight, or at least the driving of other drivers potentially, but
understandable.
Yes, I guess so. Got a problem with someone didn't start with the race start.
I think that was Amaral who didn't start.
Amaral's had some lag and connection issues already. He is joining us all the way from Malaysia, so it's fairly understandable, if a little frustrating for other drivers, I guess. But Sparks now a 29-second lead on the halfway point of the race. We avoided a safety car. Had a question earlier on the stream from me, Lightning. Did we turn down the safety car or not after Azerbaijan?
I'm not entirely sure, but considering there wasn't a safety car just now after that big crash, I'm going to say we may have done. Shall we invite ARL to a quick interview?
Why not? Let's see if he wants to. He said Rents touched his rear right and spun him off. I mean, we were riding with him at the time, and that's how it felt.
We have seen just before with Wong Fei and who was it? The 2 who crashed before.
Yeah,
I've forgotten.
Branch hit Wong Fei, and I think Mixus had an issue as well in that mix-up.
But such a small amount of contact makes such a big difference.
Yeah, true.
can check the settings now, if you would like.
Yes, that'd be cool.
We have
Confirm that from
standard
FedEx, who
Daventry.
says, is that the new name of Carrera? Is Adrenaline?
He is here
and
in
just
the party.
affirm that for you, FedEx. Carrera, just check your audio share settings, but yeah, we were riding on board, but sadly on the left side of your engine cover, so we didn't see whether you were given racing room. I assume not.
Hey guys, yeah, I mean, I don't know really what happened there, but I did see, well actually in fact I do, but yeah, going into 10:15, I went on the outside, and at first there was a bit of room given, but then obviously I was round the curb so I couldn't go any more left, and he just touched my my rear right, and that was just enough to spin me around, and yeah, it took off my other wheel, so unfortunately I couldn't continue in that race.
Yeah, sad to see you out. You were having a strong race up to that point.
Yeah, it was an alright start. I dropped down to P8, so it was really bad for me, but I managed to do a good undercut, and I was managing to get through the field again. But I mean, coming into this race, I didn't feel that the Red Bull cars had enough pace. I don't know if downforce was affected, but me and my teammate just didn't feel we had the pace for this Grand Prix, and unfortunately it's turned out to a disaster. But you know, I still got my teammate Ash currently in P3, so you know we can still score some very good points. He's now currently on the back of
yeah, he is.
Zach.
Looks like he's got the DRS. He's got an inside line going into Stowe, and that's a slightly more successful trip through that corner. Obviously, what we must say that we don't know if Rent suffered a lack of downforce and an oversteer moment or anything, because we don't have any evidence just yet. I would imagine it certainly wasn't deliberate, but racing room absolutely required, especially with half the race still to run, as Ash is just struggling to control the car right now. But what are we going to do about Sparks' pace, Adrenaline?
Well, we're gonna have to find something to answer to that. So I think next round is gonna be a lot more successful. So especially being at home at France, so I've got good pace there, but we know he's got good pace as well. But yeah, we're just gonna have to find where we lose time and give an answer to him. Definitely,
yeah. He's you can't blame him. He's doing what's required. He's driving as fast as he can around the track, and currently he's got, what is it, significant gap on the fastest lap. He's got a 35-second lead over second placed Ash right now, but you may not be able to hold on to the lead of the championship after this one, Adrenaline.
Yeah, I think it'll be very tight actually, because I did win the previous round and EDNF, so it took me to the top, but now it's looking to be the other way around for this Grand Prix. So yeah, I mean, of course, this is only round 4. There's plenty more rounds to go, but it's just a shame.
Yeah, confirm that. Yeah, feel free to stick around. I don't know if Lightning's got any questions for you, but you're very welcome, unless you need to go and scream into a pillow somewhere.
I would, but you know, I'm keeping my mouth shut and just getting on with it, because I just gotta forget about it and focus on the next race. But of course, you know, we still got one other Red Bull going on, so the objective now is to help him out.
We want some drama. Say what's on your mind. Tell us.
I don't think I should say what's on my mind right now, but as you can probably imagine, it's definitely negative things. So.
Yeah, there might be an instruction to the McLaren team, because Senna was quite. Was it Senna earlier, Lightning, that weaved across the track quite aggressively in defence?
Sorry, 1 second. Sparks is pitting and he's just got a 5-second penalty.
Ah, interesting. That will make it competitive.
Is setting a lot of laps behind Hyper Renz.
He really is. We're watching with him at the moment on the stream, so he's been catching, and he's got the next job to try and overtake the McLaren here. We've yeah, I just remember earlier on in the race we saw some quite aggressive defending manoeuvres, which did result in someone having an issue on the way through Stowe as well. So be certainly
Had a
would
few
bear looking
incidents.
into. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me if there were reports for driving standards through the week. But
I think both times was with Hyper.
was it?
I think so, yes. But yeah, I mean, it's such a fast corner. It's difficult to know who is at fault at the moment because we don't have all the video angles and all the information.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we have post-race steward inquiries. One of, I think, Senna is the steward, so he's going to have a good look at everything. Soldier Stone getting closer and closer to Rents here. I do wonder if Rents picked up some sort of damage. It is softs versus mediums, but he's losing out significantly at the moment. So Sparks managed to pit, gain a 5-second penalty, and come out with 9 seconds to spare at the moment. In terms
Interesting, good stuff.
Yeah, the penalty situation, 3 seconds each for Ash, Flying Croat, and Rents. 9 for Mixus, who's driving at the back of the grid and collecting penalties. Maybe he's out there trying to get fastest lap. And Sparks on 8 currently. If he pits again, which we don't expect him to, he would obviously serve that one. 5 of those in the pits. Sparks looking to get 8 laps out of the soft tyres, which should be doable at this stage of the race and with the reduced weight of the cars. Soldier Stone just struggling now to stay in touch with Rents. Maybe their tyre life and usability is just overlapped slightly.
Could be the possibility. I'm going to check the penalty situation for warnings. I'll be muted for a few seconds.
No problem. Here comes Soldier Stone, just as I said he was dropping back, saving potentially some ERS, launching one on the inside, which is the safer way to go through the Stowe corner, it seems, tonight. And into P8 for Soldier Stone. 3 laps on the soft tyres. Might be a little bit of a struggle to get these to the end, but so he's going to need to try and preserve those tyres now. Rents wants this place back. All over the back of the Alfa Romeo. Looks like they might make contact. A lock-up from the Alfa Romeo just saving him slightly there as he overruns the apex, and Rents trying to stay with him as they head down the Wellington straight now. Another aviation-related naming of the corner for the Wellington aircraft.
Just an aircraft called the Wellington aircraft.
Yes.
Oh my God.
World War II aircraft, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, isn't there a Beef Wellington as well?
Yes, well, we had a Duke of Wellington in the UK, so that's why there's a few things named that way. Yeah, Wellington boots.
And I was literally about to say that. You stole the words.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
the gap that Sparks
Soldier Stone back again, trying another manoeuvre. No worries. He's just aggressively trying to get back at Rents, but they're just swapped positions, and Rents is going to try and hold on to this P8 as much as he can. This is the closest battle on the field. You were just talking about Sparks' gap.
Yes, he's gapped Ash by nearly 5 seconds in 2 or 3 laps. Oh, it's Hyper spinning.
Hyper out. Well, he's hit the front wing off at least. Looks like he's kept all 4 wheels on the car, and that's the end of that one. Just pushing too hard, forced into an error by Soldier Stone.
That happened to Senna, or very, very similar.
Right.
So it is set up. It's to do with the setup, so maybe they've been sharing bad tips, possibly.
Possibly. Yeah, certainly struggling through the Abbey corners and spinning the car around. The worst possible place to have a front wing failure on the car is to then have to trundle around the whole of the rest of the lap before you can pit. He'll be quick at the end, but I don't think he'll hold off Mixus. And we've got 6 laps to go in the race. Currently, Sparks out there, P1, as he has been since lap 8. and starting in P11 tonight. But here he is, running with tyres to the end. He's lapped Mixus. He will probably lap Rents as Rents gets into the pits. Ashtube in second, Amaryl back up to third, so a strong race performance from Amaryl. That one's been done a little bit by stealth and through the pits. Haven't given a lot of time to Amaryl, but he's driving incredibly well to get back up to third after issues at the start. Branch, who will be enjoying a home race in real life this weekend to watch from and a much more comfortable time of day for him out there in Austin, Texas in P4 and having a strong championship run so far. Wong Fei in the Ferrari, P5, 8 seconds behind Branch. Crazy how the gaps have opened up tonight without the safety cars that we so often see. Flying Croat is in 6th. HBS in the Mercedes in P7, closing, hopefully, on
Branch
Flying
is
Croat.
pitting.
Interesting.
That is confusing.
Well, 14 lap old hards won't get him much in the way of speed. Perhaps he's looking at the gap to Flying Croat and thinking he can resist and only lose one place and potentially go for fastest lap, just out of interest maybe. Soldier Stone in 8th, Mixus in 9th, and you see Rents has come through on P10 right at the back of the grid, and 33 seconds behind Mixus after that terrible lap he's suffered. What about Branch though? He has been passed by Wong Fei. I think he's going to get punched by Croat. No way, that's just appalling. Appalling look for Branch to catch a penalty at this late stage. He'll be kicking himself for making that choice when nobody else has made the same choice, and he's lost 2 places and 5 seconds after the fact. Adrenaline's been out, and he's come back into the party. So I don't know if he's got news.
Good stuff.
So a quick update. Unfortunately, Ash has got damage, so he is losing time to Amaryl. So we've picked that up on the radar, but
great
it's
info.
Be a tight finish to the end. But Amaryl.
What kind of damage has he picked up?
No. The best question
damage
is, what is this radar? That's
I've
the
got
most
confirmation from Ash that he has damage.
Good stuff. Yeah. So Ash,
So he's
and
losing time.
you've gone into the Red Bull pit wall. You've had a chat with the staff, and they've given you that information. Great stuff. Branch going around the outside of Croat down the hanger straight, comfortably, so much faster on these soft tyres, but he's going to need to have a stormer of the next 4 laps to make up for that pit entry error. But yeah, Ash dropping half a second while we spoke to Adrenaline there to Amaryl. Should be on target to still finish second as he's on the same amount of penalties. But Branch it is with the speed at the moment. He's got a long way ahead to try and catch Wong Fei though. Go ahead.
Yes, he certainly does. I'm very confused as to why he pit, but each their own. How difficult is the car to drive for Ash, if you're still here? He's not here.
So we both.
Oh, he is here.
have both been. So both Red Bulls have already been struggling already coming into this race. So he's finding it tough. He's losing the time mainly on the straights. There's not much he can do. So he's trying to push for the corners, but he's been saving ERS to when Amaryl will reach him, because the gap is closing fast, so he's going to keep that ERS when he needs it for the straight.
Yeah, he needs to avoid further penalties, but Amaryl has the same amount as him right now, just taking a very wide entry. He might need to just avoid that one for tyre wear and flirting with disaster. You can really see Ash struggling on the way out of farm there. Amaryl will see him from behind now, 2.8 seconds the gap, and dropping. Talking about dropping, I think Branch is trying to get that fastest lap, but he's still got a way to go before he can compete with Sparks' time. 3 laps to go for Sparks, probably 4 for everybody else soon. And Branch another penalty.
Just got a penalty. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. The difference for fastest lap is nearly 0.4 of a second.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go back into the Red Bull pit wall just as
Okay.
these laps go down.
Good
There's a lot of
stuff.
pressure on Nash at the moment, so he's going to need the assistance.
Thanks for the
Do
update.
that. Thank you.
Don't talk to him in the corners. So, as we close this race out, no competition at the front. Hopefully, Sparks will keep the car on the track. I know. Nothing's over till it's over. That's why they don't wave the flag early. But Ash is the one under the most threat. 2.1 seconds now back to Amaral. Looks like Branch not going quickly enough on those early laps on the soft tyres.
Talking about not waving the flag early, wasn't there a race, I think it was around Monza, where they actually waved the checkered flag one lap too early?
Yes.
I think there was. Yeah. Don't remember what year it was though.
Yes, I think they had a catwalk model, come and do the waving.
Yes, it was.
And I think mistakes were made. Whether it was hers or the instructions she was given, can't rightly say. But we weren't there in the starting box. But yes, it has definitely happened in living memory.
The gap between Ash and Amaral is staying the same, so I think he'll be all right.
He will, but he'll need to avoid any of those other issues that he had before. And as the tyres start to die off,
like a penalty,
just like that one, just like that one. You're taking a lot of glee in the fate of the Red Bulls here, Lightning.
I just thought it was funny because it was funny. As we were just talking about it, he's elongated the gap by 0.3 in the straight, so I think he'll be all right. 11% battery for Amaral and 40% for
Yeah, but he
Ash.
now has to
Made that
stretch
50.
this gap out, doesn't he? He's on slightly younger tyres, but with a lot less grip, it seems, particularly under traction, struggling for downforce on the way out of the corners. It's definitely going to be tight. Now he's got a 3-second difference in penalty and a 2.8 second gap right now. So Amaral's target is quite clear. But I think this one will be a nail-biter to the end. It would be probably the only close finish we'll have in tonight's, but we must acknowledge Sparks' pace. It's the improvement Sparks has made over the last 3 or 4 months has been immense, Lightning.
He turned off auto gears and then he went 0.6 faster. And before when he still had auto gears, he was still insanely quick.
Yep.
So very impressive stuff. And he's going for a fast lap. He's just got a purple sector 2 on.
Let's ride with him then.
9 lap old tyres.
Let's ride with him and see how he's getting on. Wonder if he's saved everything for the end as well. Still on 60% ERS. Gauging warp speed and Sparks at 28.2. That'll probably do it, I would have thought tonight. 28.2. Quite a gap even for Branch on the newer soft tyres. Still a long way to go before he can beat Sparks. But Sparks presumably fairly relaxed in the car right now, Lightning, you think?
Absolutely. Not much to worry him about. No distractions, just the racetrack and getting that win. Ash Tuber spun.
Ash around. I was just going to say the gap had dropped to 3 seconds, but it's worse than that because he's now in 3rd position. He's got Wong Fei 19 seconds behind, so he can afford to just slowly get back into a rhythm. But on the final lap, Ash with a drama. Now, I hope it wasn't adrenaline talking to him in the corners and telling him what to do that caused that one. I'm sure it wasn't.
Made me laugh again. I'm so nasty.
Amaral now obviously stretching that gap. The penalties won't trouble him. Ash will just need... Well, actually, his gap is dropping down. I hope he didn't pick up further damage. But
last corner for Sparks.
Excellent stuff. He's
so
so far ahead. Crosses the line. Sparks wins in Great Britain. A new fastest lap, I think. 27.889. And walks away with this one. He started 11th, finished first, and 25 seconds ahead of anybody else. Amaryl is coming through the final 2 corners. I think this one will be a comfortable second place and a great performance from Amaryl given his early race issues. Amaryl up to P2 then with a good finish for AlphaTauri. Ash manages to survive a damaged car, bring it home to the podium. So good points for Red Bull tonight. We've got different teams all up and down, all down the finishing order. Wang Fei gets 4th position. Branch collecting penalties all the way through the race. I think he's going to lose out after the line to Flying Croat here. So Branch crosses the line, but I think it will be Flying Croat who gets the 5th position. Yes, he does. Branch in 6th. HBS finishing the lap in 6th place, overtakes Branch as well. Branch down to 7th now with those penalties. And Soldier Stone, the final car to cross the field, he managed to not get lapped in the Alfa Romeo. So we had a different team all the way down the order. A fair spread of points tonight. And fairly predictably, Anthony Davidson says driver of the day was Sparks.
We have Adrenaline in for yet another interview, and I'm also inviting the podium.
Good stuff, thanks for that. Sparks is going to lift the trophy, the British Grand Prix. I'll say it again, the wrong trophy for the British Grand Prix. They could have just drawn a different one, couldn't they? Takes the 1st position. Amaryl driving all the way from Malaysia, getting 2nd place. And Ash getting home in 3rd place despite the damage. Thankfully he's joining us, and as Lightning invites the rest of the podium, I'll just take you through the finishing order. Sparks, a runaway victory. We need a way to slow Sparks down, I think, because he gets there into P1, fastest lap. Very bad qualifying for Sparks, but he rescued it no end, and of course that's where the points pay. Then Amaryl, Ash, Wang Fei, Flying Croat in 5th, HBS in 6th, Branch in 7th, racing. So we've got a Malaysian and an American racing for us from all across the globe tonight. Soldier Stone in 8th, Mixus in 9th, Hyperents in 10th. Put an asterisk next to that one potentially for any post-race reports. And then we lost, sadly, Adrenaline and Senna earlier in the race. But Sparks, I think, Sparks, you've joined us. Just to make sure that everybody in the press conference has checked the sharing audio settings button for their broadcast. Someone's got some weather behind. Yeah, but Sparks, that was a bit of an exhibition drive from you.
Yeah, maybe.
What do the rest of the drivers have to do to start competing with you again?
Get good. No, I'm joking. I don't know.
It's not your job to bring the rest of the field up, but you're showing them how to drive a race. Was it nice to have a race without a safety car for once?
Yeah.
And what happened in qualifying?
I was fun.
Sounds like Kimmy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on another win. I'm sure you will have taken the lead in the championship tonight with the fate of Adrenaline. I don't know if you caught, but he didn't finish the race. So looks like you're going to lead the championship going into France, and hopefully you'll get a bit of practice for that race in ahead of the race.
Maybe. I'm
You're
not
right.
a fan of Silverstone.
You don't like Silverstone? Okay, well, yes. Well, that's a fun fact for everybody today. After winning by 25 seconds, congratulations, Sparks. Well done on that one. And we're really enjoying seeing your recent run of form and the improvements you've been making. It's great to see you driving so well. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So second place was Amaryl. I'm guessing we haven't got him.
I'm here.
Amaryl, oh, great stuff. Well, congratulations on a second place. You drove a great race there. Some problems at the start, but looked like you made the most of it in the end.
Yeah, I don't know how. This is my first time. I stalled at the starting of the race, I
Yeah.
was confused with what happened on the start, and I was just trying to get along with each other and try to close it back. And then I got spun by McLaren, I think, at the few turn. I think turn 4 or turn 5 before the Hamilton straight. And at that point, I was just losing everything, and I was really at the back of the grid, and I just fight my way through. Yeah, I was lucky because I have the pace at Silverstone, and I'm just marching, just trying my best and push myself lap after lap and doing my personal best lap after lap. And yeah, I got P2. I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, I would take it. There was great performance and some really good driving. Um, I don't know if you knew at the time, but Ash was struggling with damage in the closing laps to the side pod, but you were trying to stay within that penalty window, and then you made a mistake at the end, and you got it on the road anyway.
Yeah, Ash really got a very good pace, and I didn't know that he got the damage.
Yeah.
He looks like he's driving without any damage. He is so fast. I have massive respect for him on that. And yeah, on the last lap, I was just trying to give it on 2.999 seconds, but
Yes.
I think he made a mistake and reset to track. And at that point, I overtook him, and I just tried to bring the car home.
Well, congratulations, a strong drive, and I hope it's the start of more things to come that are similar, and more podiums, please.
Thank you, thank you.
Good stuff. Thanks, Amaral. Thanks for stopping by. And I think talking about him while he's listening in, Ash, you join us for the press conference. I think it was a good drive to get third out of that at the end.
Yeah, I was not too confident anyways going into this race, so definitely happy with P3. But P2 was definitely possible here.
Yeah. We had mid-race updates from Adrenaline about your side pod damage. Where did you pick that up?
I think I'm actually not sure. Maybe I ran over a curb too hard, but it just suddenly showed up. I didn't really hit any wall or something, so not 100% sure.
Any battles of note to look back on tonight?
Well, not really. It was quite a boring race for me. The only overtake I had was on HBS, and that was actually it.
Cool. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess a trip to third place is good for the team and good points. I know second was possible, but it must be a good sign to be able to get third even when you've got a damaged car.
Yeah, definitely still happy with that. Not sure if we'll keep the lead in the constructors, but I hope we do.
Yeah. Well, great stuff. You were in a live party with Adrenaline. Was he much help to you through the race?
Yeah, sometimes.
Good stuff. Just fishing for rivalries or shade being thrown on each other. But never mind. You've done the right thing. Congratulations, Ash, and thanks for stopping by.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, man. Good stuff. Adrenaline, anything to add?
Nothing much really. Could have gone a bit better, but of course it could have gone worse. So we'll take that podium. Any podiums is a good result in any way, but definitely looking forward to round 5 France. We both have very good pace there, so we're looking to bounce back.
So, any clue on the championship standings on the constructor side? They're not in the Discord, so I wasn't able to give them. But Ash was under the impression there that Red Bull had the lead.
Yeah, we have the lead actually. We took it last Grand Prix. In fact, at Portimao we had a 1-2 and the fastest lap, or actually I believe the fastest lap was from the Haas of Branch. But we are leading the constructors. I do believe we will still keep the lead because we did have a podium finish, so I think it's still enough to stay ahead. But obviously that gap has reduced.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, we're heading to France next week. We thank everybody for joining us for tonight's race. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you do want to follow my commentary, I'm at WebORed5 on Twitter. Thanks to Lightning for joining in, despite not being able to take part in the race. And hopefully we'll have slightly better attendance for you. But we got a good number of finishes to the end of the race, nonetheless. And thanks everyone for all the comments and the likes on the video. Make sure you've liked if you're still listening. And until next time, we will catch you on the next race day.